UCLA Classic Theater.
Allows teaching artists to go into the schools and help the students learn about their curriculum through theater.
They teach us acting, performing, projecting,
articulation.
All the things you need to do to become a successful performer.
When I was a kid, I looked up to you, but now the kid is gone. You know, I cry myself to sleep because of you.
We start from the beginning, like not knowing anything. Then I was like more confident.
It's one of those things that as I read through the curriculum and the ideas behind it, it was something that I really felt like would be a good opportunity for my students.
There has a Richard till the Richard killed him. I had a Richard too, and now Vince killed him.
In a normal English class, you're just reading it. Sometimes you really don't understand what you're reading. And in a theater class, you're also acting on stage. And when you're performing, you're actually learning something.
We brought in some classic theater. We did a study on Aeschylus and then later on Othello.
Reading Othello, it was wild, crazy. It felt like we're actually living through the scenes, like it felt real.
Think about the themes that were there: jealousy, deception, trust, love, and try to write something based on one of those themes.
Who were the different characters, the antagonists, the protagonists, the people we met?
My mother told my father. His concern was if the house was gonna get clean or not. My concern was if I was gonna have a butt the next month.
Later on, I was given the news that my aunt got really sick and we wouldn't go. You can soon see a tear falling down my cheek as my eyes got watery.
That was great detail what she wrote about. You could soon see a tear running down my cheek.
You could envision where she was.
All 75 of our students wrote the most wonderful 10-minute plays, and we got some really, really deep and rich plays out of these young writers.
I'm more open to be creative, like with my writing.
I'm really worried that he hasn't made new friends. Oh gosh, he should at least call.
Because before I would never put it out anywhere, let alone write one to actually perform on stage. Some of the kids at school beat me up because they said I'm different.
Different? You're not different. You're like everybody else.
They even called me names.
I want other people to know like what I think about.
This is my first time actually acting, writing my own monologue. The truth is, I'm not human. I mean, I know this sounds crazy, but ever since I was a child, I always known I was different. I saw this kid reading about UFOs and other life forms. At that exact moment, the same mark I seen on my hand, I seen on the book. In real life, yeah, I was in foster care. My mom didn't tell me about that. In the story, I wanted to put that part in it because, you know, it'd make the story better. Because I want to come from a personal feelings too, you know. The only way I can get back to my home planet is if I sacrifice a human life.
We've been really trying to cultivate a classroom climate that is a safe space.
To reveal like a sensitive topic, to where they're like, I understand where you're coming from, instead of being like, did you just say that?
And part of this process is just learning about the students as well, so we can find ways to reach them.
We celebrate the uniqueness and the diversity in their voices.
She said, class, please take a seat. So we did what we were told. One of the things I wrote was the day I'll never forget. Then she began talking about how people come and go. Then she brought up Amaria, my best friend. Then she started saying, a shooting happened and somehow Amaria got shot. Like it basically came from my heart because like back then, like when I was in kindergarten, I did went through what I was talking about. Let me tell you this, I did not only lose a best friend, but I lost a brother, and a brother who loved me unconditionally. Okay. People killing, people dying, children hurting, hear them crying. If you practice what you preach, you will turn the other cheek. Father, 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 help us.
Every time I seen the teachers, I would smile and everything. That's what made my day.
You realize that not everybody is starting at the same place.
I think it's part of the reason why we tried not to, cover everyone with the same blanket. Success for one person might be different for another person.
ELACT's philosophy is community-based. We're trying to create beautiful citizens for this world, and we believe that is best served by a theater-based education. Acting, directing, ensemble work, communication, which we believe all that together creates empathy.
You learn the skills necessary to look at things from somebody else's point of view.
All of the students have become more willing to try things that they would normally not have done, especially in that rehearsal process.
I learned that you're not always gonna know everything, like it's a right to fail.
Reading those scripts and then memorizing it just makes me feel good that I've accomplished something. This is actually my first time actually acting in front of people.
Before this, I've never had the opportunity to do what we're doing now. I get to show what's in here outside of here.
Just the idea of expressing themselves and saying what's on their mind, speaking to one another, was very difficult for them. And so we were using like these acting and theater techniques and games to get them comfortable on the stage and performing, but really what was happening is that we were getting them to come out of their shells.
San Bernardino is heavy with like gang populations and single parent homes, and there's lots of different issues that they're dealing with. They don't always have a good place to let it out. My first year of teaching, I had a student who was gone for a couple of days, and it turned out she tried to kill herself over the weekend. And I can only imagine that if she had an outlet, if she'd had someone to talk to, or something that she could put that energy into, that frustration, she might have not made that choice.
I can actually go up to people now and talk to them instead of getting all awkward.
Anytime you're encouraging students to put themselves in front of a group, you're teaching them so much more than just how to be an actor.
You were not at work. Tell me the truth.
I was at work.
No, you were not.
At some point, they're probably going to need to be up in front of other people, and they need to know how to present themselves,
projecting my voice, body language,
how to emphasize some things.
Well, I need a summer job. I live in a family of 6, so money's tight. So I decided to get a job, get my work permit.
With interviews, they need to be able to talk to someone and really communicate their ideas.
All the basic things in life that we actually don't really pay attention to sometimes. We take it for granted. like everybody can talk, everybody can speak. Actually, no. Even as adults.
I gained more confidence. I was generally a quiet person. It made me more social, be more open to things.
Thinking about myself at that age, how I would be that shy person or I wouldn't want to raise my hand. It's interesting to see. I was like, wow, I was that.
As a whole, we can say that we saw everybody make forward movement.
Watching the things that they were able to accomplish was impressive.
Been a really good experience. I had so much fun.
I think the arts just helps kids. It balances the brain.
I feel very proud right now to have been a part of this. It felt like a great achievement for me.
I had a really fun time. I'm just happy that I had my friends and family to support me. I'm very proud to be a drama student.